Yeah, bring it on down.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate everything.
You bet. Take care. Okay. That opens up a line at
866-870-5752. One more time, that's 866-870-KRLA.
and like paperwork. Yes, you do get to meet Jimmy.
Don't let him think that.
Ask him about his hair product.
Oh, my goodness.
yeah.
We can braid each other's hair, I promise.
Oh, there you go. So there is that. So give us a call. The number, the Azusa store, the Orange store is open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5 during the week and 10 to 4 on Saturday. And the number there is 714-939-1172. So give us a call or come on by. Rather you come by than call, but we're looking for folks, so give us a call. Just tell them don't call. This is me.
No, but come on by. You get to see exactly what's going on right when you walk the door. We've all, if you've been there, you guys know how it works. That there's guns right as you walk in. Mm-hmm. You get to see how it all flows through, how people walk in, walk out, and then you're don't worry, you will be covered and protected in your paperwork place.
Yep. And no, you don't have to know anything about firearms. You have to have two things: a good attention to detail and good handwriting.
Yeah.
I have trained every one of my paperwork girls since, holy cow, going all the way back to Sharice in 2001.
Dude,
yeah, that goes back a ways.
Wow,
years ago. And none of them knew the difference between caliber and gauge. Doesn't matter. You don't need to know anything about firearms. You just got to pay attention. And doing paperwork, especially in California, for firearm sales, it's literally like taking a test. Problem is,
that's a good analogy.
You have to get 100%
every time
on every test. You can't get 80. That's 95% is a fail.
You down.
Yeah, so this is one of the issues we always run into. So,
and a huge thing is that if you don't have like already a affinity toward firearms, this builds up very quickly once you're in that position.
Oh, yeah.
You're pretty much handling every firearm, getting to know it in and out, and you get familiar with it. And if you have any fear behind it, it kind of extinguishes all those fears.
I don't know that any of my paperwork girls, and I've gone through, I can't even tell you how many, between Alicia way back and Sharice, the very first one, and so on. And none of them had guns when they started, but when they finally left, they had a whole pile of them. So there is that. Let's get to Joe in Pasadena. Joe, what can we do for you?
Yes, I have a couple questions. On a shotgun, since the shells are spring-loaded, how long is it advisable to keep them loaded with the pressure on the spring, without taking them out, cleaning the spring and lubing it?
Two different parts to that.
With round, which are also spring-loaded, I guess.
Two different parts to that. Number one, you said keeping it lubed and keeping it clean, because depending on the environment, that'll be really, really important. But as to the length and duration of the spring?
Yeah, it's called spring steel for a reason. That's what it is. It's springy. It's this is a really old thing, because they say the same thing about magazines. And, I have seen magazine springs go flat in a Luger P08 that has had ammo in it since 1915.
Yeah, just exactly.
Obviously.
Forever.
And where the materials were not as good as modern materials are.
Yeah, but as far as anything, if you're really, really concerned about it, you can always go to somebody like Brownells and buy an extra spring.
For $8?
Yeah, and they're very simple to put in. Take out the old one, put in a new one, and keep the old one, and it'll come back to life, and then you can swap them out again. I wouldn't worry about it. You want to keep it clean, rust free. Other than that, you should be fine forever.
And one more quickie. The show preceding yours, which more political, they happen to mention some guy named Tony Gonzalez up in Burbank. I don't know if he owns a gun store or he's a gun person like the rest of us, but he said that the woke city council of Burbank are discussing a motion to buy up all the gun stores in the city and close them down.
Well,
you might ask Rick at the CRPA what he knows about that.
Well, you know what? We're actually going to talk about that next week, and let me tell you, this all kind of came about in Culver City, where the Culver City people got together and they bought out the shop that was down there. They paid $6.5 million for a building that was
Taxpayers'
worth
money.
Yeah, for a building that was worth like 1.2, and it's going to backfire on them, and they're not going to be able to buy them all out. And I bet you. The guys that do take the money will probably have a big grin on their face, their hand out, and be in Arizona with a new shop in about 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, the guy also said that he's been hearing that rabbis, grandmas, wives, people, they're buying guns illegally because they figure that the authorities are going to come after all of them, and they want some protection at home.
You can't blame them, and you think about it. I mean, does anybody not remember Prohibition? What did that cause? Oh yeah. Bootleggers.
Bootlegging, right?
And you don't think they're going to bootleg guns? There's no way that they're ever going to get rid of all of them. They just can't. There's too many.
Right. The black market's going to boom.
Yeah, and that's all that's going to happen. You're going to make billionaires out of guys that are just, got the stones to be a bootlegger.
Right.
Anyway, Joe, we're coming up on a break. Thanks for the call.
Thanks a lot. Keep up the
Thank
good
you.
work, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Joe.
Take care. Oh, yeah. Kid, at the top of the hour, we played a song by the Beatles, and what was the name of that? Tell Me Why.
Tell Me Why.
What's the name of this?
Tell me why.
Hey, I hear a theme going. You're listening
around.
to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back, so give us a call.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Hey, it's Jeff from Gunslingers Gun Shop and Auctions. Everybody just got to go get iHeartRadio.
Honestly,
Or just stick on Rumble. It looks like Rumble's the only one not failing us. Or it has, and I just haven't noticed.
and again, Dawood Asha, I was at Gun World in Burbank yesterday. They had a petition to stop the overreach. That's, isn't it sad when you have to go to war against your own city council because they're going to war against you? Yeah.
It's their new business. It's extortion. Well, I guess their old business. They're just making it popular again.
Yeah.
Matthew Perry. What a shame.
All right.
56 Chevy. Very nice. Listen, we're back.
We are.
Give us a call.
866-870-5752. Once again, that's 866-870-KRLA.
All right.
And just in case anyone's still online, it looks like our Rumble feed is still up. So if you want to get on Rumble, that's the Gunslinger Hour radio show live.
And the radio's still there, by golly.
Yeah.
That's that one thing.
Yeah.
Guys here at KRLA got that going on.
Yeah.
iHeartRadio just.
I mean, it just as a backup because these internet things are so sketchy.
It's the Wild West out there.
Yeah, and it seems one week all three of them work the whole time, and then the next week none of them work at any time.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating, and we understand how frustrating it is to you too, because it's
any insight.
well, and you're going to continue to hear that, and because I've gotten the same thing. This is what I'm going to tell you. This is what the Department of Justice told me, that even though you have dual citizenship, you cannot bring that gun into California. Importing it is illegal because that gun is not allowed here. The only way it can be brought here is through a sale through police officer or intrafamilial transfer, meaning say your father passed away and he had it, he can transfer it to you, and a gun shop can register
There's a bit
it
of
to
silliness. Jim, do you have any family in Arizona?
Well, I don't, but if I'm there and I transfer to my wife who lives in California, that's an interfamilial transfer, isn't it?
That's not, I mean, by letter of law, it's supposed to be father to son, mother to daughter, and
That's kind of a lateral move there.
yeah, it's
We're just trying to keep you out of trouble.
yeah,
understand.
it's kind of a
What if I transferred it to my daughter?
Bingo.
Son?
that might work, but then it's going to be in their name and it's going to be their gun. You
That's
see?
okay.
Okay. Well, I mean,
At some point,
can I legally be in possession of their firearm?
Not in California, especially if it's a gun that's off roster.
Man,
that's bad law.
Yeah.
What a nest of vipers they have crafted, right?
Yeah. And well, they've had 20 plus years of this roster to kind of seal up all loopholes. So, yeah.
So I guess maybe another real question is if I buy a Sig Sauer fire control unit, and I buy that in Arizona, but in California I get a Wilson grip module, and I buy everything else that's non-serialized.
Talking about a 365 now.
But
the fire control unit itself was purchased in Arizona, but the fire control unit is not a firearm.
Well, if it's not a firearm, then there's nothing they can do about it. Although
the fire unit is the firearm, or the fire control unit is the firearm for the SIG. I know for the 365.
Okay, so you know what?
Wow.
Yeah, Richard, I think you may have stumped the band on this one. I am not sure, and I don't want to give you a.
No, yeah, it would always be 10-round mags in California.
Okay. Just want to make
no threaded barrel and no illegal features or no evil features.
Evil.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, if it is a 365 we're talking about, the one piece of good news, because I had a client just do this, you can buy the 365 that's on the roster, extract the fire control unit, put it into those other things which you describe, and you can build the gun you want legally, as long as it has a 10-round magazine.
Boom.
No, there
You're looking at a $2,000 365 by the time you're done. But you want the 4-inch barrel.
I want all the.
You want the flat trigger, baby.
I don't know if you're in the process of getting it, but they said nobody's